Everybody, it's Matt Johnson. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. This is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom. We did have a guest scheduled for today, Tad Wicker. Unfortunately, he is not able to join us today, and so we are continuing to riff on some of the things we were talking about on Wednesday. The list of 75 ways to expand your online presence. We'll go over some of that. There's an app that Greg wants to chat about, and then we're going to take some questions from the lead gen Scription Objections to make sure that you guys get your questions answered. There's some ones that we spotted on everything from the Mojo dialer to buying the business to all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna get into all kinds of stuff. It's gonna be a super fun show. My internet is a little spotty, so it'll be even more fun if I get kicked off and it's just Greg here talking. So we're gonna see how this goes. Yeah.
This is going to be fucking awesome. I am going to be the sole proprietor. I'm going to rule the world of internet podcasting, Matt. When you drop off like a bad habit, I'm going to take over and just take this thing to a whole nother freaking level of awesomeness. That's what's going to happen.
That's right. And that is Greg's way of saying I am scared shitless to be without Matt for just 30 seconds.
No, Matt. No, Matt. No, Matt. End podcast. End podcast.
That's right. Exactly. All right. So you are the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel. Greg, what's up today?
I am. Matt, dude, it is Friday. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. We got some inspections today. Oh, my God, man. I went in. I had a potentially shitty day yesterday when I went to 2 sewer line inspections, but it was not shitty. It wasn't shitty at all. There was nothing in those pipes, and our buyers are very, very happy. We're moving forward. Life is good. I got a couple referrals from the work that I'm doing. It's awesome, man. Had a beautiful, wonderful, incredibly powerful talk last night with my McDaniel challenge. Just good shit, man. And you know what? I always get frustrated when people bitch, moan, whine, and complain about their life sucking. Well, you know what? Fuck you. That's your own problem if your life sucks because you're the one that's putting yourself there. If you change the way you look at things and the way you view the world is going to change your entire psyche. I've been trying this day in and day out, Matt. I haven't told you about this, but I'll wake up some days and I will intentionally put myself in a bad mood just by saying certain phrases to myself just to see if I can pull myself out of them. And then I'll wake up some mornings and put myself in a super positive mood. And then there's nothing that can get me down because you can't feel positive and negative at the exact same time. You have to have one of the two the two emotions. And so I've learned some incredible techniques and breathing techniques that have been able to transform me like that. It's super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast that Tim Ferriss did with Tony Robbins yesterday, and he was talking about that. He calls it there are beautiful states and there are suffering states. And his intention now is to, as much as possible, when he notices that he's in one of those suffering states, to pull himself out within 90 seconds, which is admirable. I mean, it's, yes, there is suffering, yes, there's stress, yes, there's feeling overwhelmed, and all the stuff that comes with being a business owner, entrepreneur, husband, wife, whatever. But whether you allow yourself to kind of live in it, marinate in it, and dwell on it is entirely up to you. So I love that goal. He's like, he made, something to the extent, or something to the effect that, I've already made more money than I'll ever need. He's like, so like putting that as another goal or just having more success or whatever, he's like, that doesn't like get me motivated anymore. What gets me motivated is the challenge to put myself in a beautiful state by my own choice.
Yeah.
99% of the time, which I thought was really interesting. He has some techniques. He talked about like Tim Ferriss asked him, like, what does Tony Robbins do when Tony Robbins has a bad day? Like, first of all, does Tony Robbins have a bad day, which made him laugh. And then he says, of course, I have bad days. He's like, he says, I always focus on something physical first. So either I go for a run, I dip in the cold tub, I dip in the pool, something, or he says, or I'll go jump on a trampoline for 15, 20 minutes, like get all the lactic acid kind of out of my muscles and stuff like that, which I thought was really interesting. I hadn't heard him say that before, although I think it's just because I don't follow Tony Robbins as closely. Apparently that's something that he's done for years. But
he does it all the time
it was
before he goes on stage.
Yeah, it's really interesting just and he's absolutely right. Somebody who was it? Peter Daniels said that emotion is not subject to thought, but emotion is subject to action.
That's very true.
Yeah. To get out there doing something physical, so for about the last week and a half, I've actually started off with a short run, about a 20-25 minute run, in the morning.
I thought you were going to say a short run, like from your bedroom to your bathroom. Whew!
Yeah, exactly. It's actually from the bed to the fridge, but screw you, Greg. It's to get breakfast and hop back into bed. But I sprint.
Ooh, that chilly floor.
I mean, I walk part of it, but I sprint mostly from the bedroom to the fridge.
Well, it is a long thing. You do need to, sustain yourself on those long journeys.
That's right. Exactly.
And like the nutrients that to bring back to your cave. Like, I'm gonna hibernate here now.
That's right. Oh, screw you, Greg. From the bed to the fridge, or the bed to the bathroom. No, and I actually run, for God's sake. So I've been trying that to see how that goes. So far, my body has responded, at least in the morning, better than I expected. I actually like the way it feels to break a sweat first thing in the morning, and then you get started and take a shower and then get to work.
I've been telling you this forever.
Yes, but the problem is that I crash earlier, so there's still a price to pay. But I'm working on that and seeing kind of how that works and how I can mitigate the crash, because I actually do like I like starting with a run. I don't like running necessarily in and of itself, but I do like breaking a sweat that first thing in the morning. So I will bow to that. I will say you have a point there. You have a point.
Thank you. Bow time. Bow down. No, man, it gets you going. Like I was super exhausted yesterday morning. Like my whole body, everyone around me is like, "Dude, Greg, what is wrong with you?" I mean, like your energy. Even you commented.
I commented on Wednesday. Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you, man? You're not responsive. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm dead. I'm like, I pushed myself too hard, and then this morning I woke up just exhausted again, and I didn't go to the freaking gym. But you know what? I had a good reason to be exhausted this morning, but we're not going to go on that on air. It was a exhaustive evening of a lot of good stuff, but I've worn myself out again. So I know, like tonight, I'm just gonna be like pump down, but I know I'm gonna get up tomorrow morning because I want to go for another huge hike like I did last Saturday. Last Saturday it was a lot of fun by myself up on the ridge, hiking around, damaging my feet. But I'm getting those habits and keeping those habits in your life is so important to do, and you can physically feel the differences when you don't do them. And now that you've jumped on the bandwagon and finally seen the light in regards to doing workouts in the morning, you're going to see a radical transformation both in your metabolism, also in your mindset. You're going to get those cobwebs out, and your day is just going to overall start, pretty well. And you're going to start wanting to do it more and more. But we're not a health show, Matt. What are we talking about here?
We're talking. Let's take some questions from the lead gen Scription objections. First of all, thank you for joining us. Those of you that are watching live, we really appreciate it. We appreciate you telling a friend and telling your broker about the show, whatever the case is. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe if you want the audio version nestled between your ears. Go to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe there. There was something that caught my eye here real quick on the lead gen scripts page. Chelsea Robinson says, Greg McDaniel said something on one of his older podcasts that resonated with me, so I've blown it up and kept the quote in my desk. And the quote is, "You are not here to sell, you are here to serve." Nice. They're quoting me. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm sure you stole that from somebody much more intelligent than either one of us. But actually, I didn't. Really? I actually made that one up. I'm sure you did. All right. So here's there's no way you came up with that. Yeah, no way. I'm just going to breeze right past that. All right. So let's talk about, there was a question here about the Mojo dialer, which you're very familiar with. This is what you've been using for your live lead gen. So what is it? How many times are you doing live lead gen into the lead gen scripts group, Greg? I try to do it daily. Do you? I try to do it usually daily. Around, like after the show, I know Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so it's usually around 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern? 4:30. Is when I go, because I usually stop at 5 o'clock my time on prospecting. So if I'm going to do a 4:30, I do 30 minutes of live gen and then 30 minutes of something about, different than what we cover here. But I'm very, very proud. I'm going to shout out to Midori right there. Midori, if you ever watch this, she's one of our new team members. She was scared shitless. She got on the Mojo dialer this yesterday afternoon, got her first seller lead yesterday doing Mojo, and she is, you want to talk about green behind the ears, people. She is green behind the ears, and she did it. So you guys, it's a powerful tool, and you can use it on a daily basis. Go tune into the Lean Jet Scription Objections page, watch me do it, watch Aaron do it, just come learn. We've been doing this forever. It's not a scary thing. Even when she got off the phone, Matt, I'm like, so was it as scary as you thought it was? She's like, no, actually it wasn't that scary at all, actually, to tell you the truth. I'm like, see, told you. It's not that bad. Stop being afraid of yourself. All right. So here's the question. So Dennis Harris asks, hey, I'm using the Mojo dialer. How do I call into Mojo instead of having them call my phone? Or is that only possible on an old version of Mojo?
It's only possible on an old version, bro. You need to, why are you using an old version? They have the brand new one out. What happens is, you guys, what happens was,
that's what had happened. What had happened was, yeah. I don't know what that's from.
I don't even know, but it's funny as hell. You're gonna, get all your controls set up, like how many lines you're gonna dial, how many rings you're gonna do, what's the callback number, if you want a script or all that crap. You're gonna hit start calls. It's gonna bring up a phone number on your screen. You're gonna go to your phone. You're gonna dial it in on your phone. It's gonna talk back to you and say, enter your PIN. It's gonna be a two-digit PIN. Bop, bop. And then you hit start calling on the screen. So that's how you dial into Mojo, guys. It's super. I mean, even a real estate agent can figure that out.
Ooh, wow, that's a heavy insult. All right, so, let's move on to another one before you insult our audience anymore. So Vince
I'm
Reyna
insulting
says,
myself. Okay,
yeah, that's true. You are including yourself in that. I agree.
Yeah, you kidding me?
All right, so Vince Reyna says, can someone help me understand what it means to buy the business? I've heard people say it, but I'm not sure what they're talking about. So what do you think, Greg?
You talking about buying a listing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it usually means.
That's what I think he's saying.
He said, I thought they were talking about spending money on marketing and advertising, but yeah.
Buying a listing. Okay. So for you guys that don't know this, buying a listing is a term that's used when a real estate agent, well, let's say Matt and I are both real estate agents and we're going after John Doe, who's a seller, right? John and Mary Doe. And I come in and I say, hey, look, I think your home is worth 1.2. Right? Legitimately, I think you're worth 1.2. And I ran the comps and I show it to them. Well, John and Mary Doe are egotistical assholes and they want to sell more than Bob and Sue Smith around the corner. Matt comes in, sailing in on his cape of wonders, and he goes, no, I think your home's worth, 1.5. Completely unfounded. But of course, they listen to Matt because Matt has a silver tongue of bullshit. And at the end of it, they go with Matt. Matt just bought the listing for $300,000. Because that $300,000, what they're going to do now, Matt is going to say, well, you know what, it's the market. Oh, it's the season. Oh, it's whatever is going to come out of his mouth, which is BS. But when they finally dump Matt like a bad habit and they come crawling back to me and they say, Greg, we should have gone with you the whole time. I'm like, yes, I'm glad you see the way now. Here are the comps. But they have just damaged themselves because instead of getting their home on the market at a fair price, now they're viewed as a damaged product and something that, like a weak sheep, someone is going to come by and try to clip their heels and get them for a better price. So buying a listing or giving false information about a listing, price is a hugely bad thing to do. One, it's not professional. Two, you're a douche if you do it. And three, you're going to ultimately harm your clients at the end of the day. That's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean that's not. Somebody brought up a good point in one of the replies, which was that one of the possible definitions for buying business is getting a client by losing money rather than using your skills. Which I like that. I like that definition. Yeah. So that could also apply to like buyer rebates and other forms of essentially lowering your commission in some form or another. In order to buy the business. So that's another form of that is that, hey, being a discount broker, dropping your commission to 5 to beat out the guy that's going to, charge them 6. That way you don't have to actually add more value or define what your competitive advantage is. You just lower your price.
Yeah, and that's horrible. I mean, for number one, don't be like that, guys. Come on, this is a big industry, but there's a lot. It's also an incredibly small industry that, like Matt and I know. The people that actually do business. There's a very small group of us that actually do a lot of amount of business, and you're going to need those SOBs down the road. So if you screw someone over now, just make a couple extra bucks, and then they go, and then the shoe's on the other foot down the road. Well, guess what's going to happen? You're ultimately going to hurt your client because it's not about you. Remember that? It's about your client. You got to be client-minded, not commission-minded. People forget that at times because they get caught up on the almighty dollar. I mean, we've talked about how to protect your commission. When you're going for a listing appointment, you say, hey, okay, my commission is 2.5% or 3%, whatever your commission is. What do you want to pay the buyer's side? Because ultimately you want to split it with them, but I don't know. I think
it all comes back to similar things. So it goes back to that quote that Chelsea Robinson put up on the page, which is that you're not here to sell, you're here to serve. And I think people start out in the business with good intentions of doing that, but they feel like, well, I still need to eat. I still need business right now. You know, so then they start making compromises in terms of how they serve or in terms of how they present themselves because they're trying to just survive. And that's a slippery slope and it leads to even more compromises, and all of a sudden you find yourself offering a 4% listing as long as you work with me on the buy side and, you know, all this other stuff, or buying the listing by offering them a higher listing price and then just saying, well, I'll try to get them to drop it later. And all this stuff kind of flows from the same, it's well, not a poverty. It's a lack of abundance mindset. You know? Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. What are you doing?
I'm not just fucking around.
Yeah. Anyway, so what that really comes down to is you have to have that source of business. Like Jason Hartman talked about this on Monday. Like he was building up his farm areas and he was being a resource to them. He's building relationships and stuff like this, and all this stuff that's going to pay off a year from now or 3 years from now. But I mean, he still went out there and he wasn't very good at it, but he still took some FSBOs, he still took some expired listings. I mean, you got to figure out whatever that is for you, but there is something that you can do that will feed it in the meantime, you know, give you business for now, and then while you're working on the things that are long term, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, but the things that you can do right now to grow your business is get your bitch ass out the freaking door, go talk to a human being and give them your business card. Do it 25 times. I see this every time, Matt. It's not rocket science. Stop depending on other people for your income. You can't afford Zillow ads. You can't afford Realtor.com leads. You can't afford everything else. Well, you can afford this. It's called a business. You can afford this. It's called a mouth. Go out, put them together, start using them, you know, in conjunction, and go talk to another freaking human being. Oh, my name's Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area. So I'm going to give you my card and introduce myself. Go buy him a fucking cup of coffee. You know, go out and give him a hug. Go do something. I mean, something. Damn.
Don't give me a hug. You can go give somebody else a hug. But here's an idea for somebody.
No hugs, Snuggle Muffin?
You're a large human, Greg. I don't want to hug you. All right. So somebody asked a question that brings up a good source of now leads, essentially. And this is something where you could go to another team and offer to provide this service. And I want to get your take on what the script could be for this. So Sean Simpson says, I just accumulated a lot of dormant internet leads that were never followed up on that I'm going to have my team start calling on and emailing to. And I can see a newer agent going to someone like that and offering to be that person that does that. So what he says is, I've looked through script after script, trying to find something good, and didn't know anyone who had handled this in the past. Do we just ignore if they were maybe reached out to previously, or is there a suggested script that you have? So again, this is dormant internet leads. He initially says they were never followed up on, but it sounds like there may have been a chance that they were contacted at some point or had some communication with somebody, and he's just not sure. So you're calling somebody that maybe your team has spoken with before, but most likely not. So what would you say, Greg?
You know what? I've honestly found that internet leads are kind of like wine. They have to kind of brew, for lack of a better word. They have to, you know, mature. And you know, if you go right after them, right off the bat, they're just kind of in that initial investigation phase. I find that what the script that I use is very simple. It's like everything else in my life. It's very simple, very upfront, very straightforward, and it's this. Hi, my name is Greg McDaniel. I'm a real estate agent here in the area with J. Rockcliffe Realtors. I'm contacting you because I know that you came and visited our site blank time. Let's say January 6th of this year. And I just want to touch base and just see if you had either bought or sold, you know, the property you were interested in and what we could do to help you. It's just stop trying to be a trickster, trying to stop trying to, you know, take them down a rabbit hole that they don't want to go down. Be like, hey, this is what's up. This is who I am. This is how I do it. How can I help you? Oh, you don't want any help? Okay, no problem. How, you know, are you guys thinking about buying or selling down the road? No, you're not. You're just curious. Not a problem. Or you want to get a loan? Let me put you in contact with my lender. Be a resource. Be a beacon of goodness, and just go out there and help these people. That is it. It's not difficult. It's not. I mean, that's what I do on my prospecting calls. I sit there and I just tell them what I'm doing. I actually tell them I'm doing cold calls. Did you know that? And it takes all the fight out of the dog right then and there. People I had one of the guys that was watching my show. He was baffled. Absolutely baffled on why I was calling around just solds that were not mine and telling them that I was doing cold calls. But then I was just like, just hang out and watch, man. Watch what happens. 3 leads one day. That's how you get it done, by telling people what's going on, asking for their assistance. End of story. So it's easy.
Interesting. All right.
You do
Let me. Do you want to address this? David Slane asks, does anybody know if there's a system in which I could pre-record a voicemail and drop it automatically to multiple homes?
No, I do not want to address that.
Anybody go back and watch our episode with Chris Tam and Paul Campbell to understand why Greg's not going to address that, because there could be seriously heavy fines for you if you do that. Yes, there is a system. Yes, it works. Should you use it? Probably not. Yeah.
No. Do not use it. Look, I freaking love it. All right. I think it could be something powerful, but once you understand the legal ramifications, guys, let me break it down for you. Every cell phone number you dial through an automatic dialer is finable of up to $16,000 per number. Let's do an easy number here. Let's say you did 25,000 numbers. At $16,000, that's a $400 million fine. Do you have 400 mil kicking around? I mean, we can call Zuck up and see what if he'd lend it to us real quick. But I don't think that's going to work out.
Yeah, they can affect. It's one of those things where the government can selectively enforce it, but it puts you at massive danger, because if you accidentally draw attention to yourself for the wrong reason, they can selectively enforce it against you, and there's really nothing you can do about it. And the fines are so outrageous that it really just comes down to you're completely at their mercy. If they want to screw you over and ruin you financially for life, they can. If they want to let it go, they can, or anything in between. They can do whatever they want. You're completely at their mercy. So, I mean, that's putting your if you have no business to risk, that's one thing, but if you have any kind of established business that they can go after and you have any kind of assets, major danger zone. So, all right, let's talk about this question. This is a good one because it references a previous episode of the show. So Mike Feldman says, on a recent episode of Real Estate Uncensored, Brett Tanner said that if the future seller is 90 days or less from being ready to put their house on the market, he calls them once a week. He says, I totally understand why, but what are some scripts or talking points you can bring up so you're not just calling and saying, are you ready now? Are you ready now? I just visualize the excitable puppy, just tail wagging. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Come on, throw the ball. You threw the ball. Yeah. It's value add points, guys. Think about this. What would be valuable information if the roles were reversed? Think about that for a second. Maybe it would be best things to get prepped for the sale. You know, here are market conditions. Here are things to avoid. Here are things that are best practices to get ready. You know, touch base and, you know, maybe bring him a Starbucks card. Maybe go out and get him his wife a massage, you know, for a couple of bucks. You know, just bait them. You know, do fun things for them. Go partner with a masseuse and get it done for free, because then they're going to get free business. So they do a 30-minute massage for free to a couple of your clients, and then the people go back to them, and you can say, hey, look, I know real estate's so stressful. Here's a free massage for me, from me for you guys. I mean, just think of anything that would be something that you would feel more comfortable about, going through the process. Have your lender reach out to them. Maybe have your title people reach out to them and talk through any questions they may have about something. You know, the list is quite endless, to tell you the truth. But I'd go to
there's a couple things. I think information, offering information, or just having something of value is great. But I think one of the most probably overlooked things that you can do is the whole Chris Angel content first approach and finding things that you can connect with people on. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if you've talked to them, depending on now granted, if you had a 5-minute conversation with an expired listing or something like that, absolutely nothing about their personal life, is going to be difficult. But let's say you have some things that you've connected on, you find a way to reach out to them or connect with them on social media or a call, and that's what you bring up. You bring up something, either it's about the neighborhood they're in, you're inviting them or letting them know something's going on in their neighborhood, or you're connecting on some personal point, some hobby or some common interest that you guys have, or you find like an article that you think would be of interest, you reach out, you send that over by social media, you follow up with a call and just say, hey, I thought about you the other day, I stumbled across that article, just wanted to send that over to you and see what you thought. I thought it was interesting. So there's stuff like that you can do. We'll talk more about this when that LinkedIn sales trainer comes on the show here in the next few weeks, Brian Trachel, but I'll give you a little sneak preview of one of the things that he is going to share, which is LinkedIn, the skills endorsements are a major way to keep in touch with people and like keep your name in front of people, because LinkedIn emails them when you endorse somebody for a skill. So he'll get on there and like his prospects for his sales training program, he'll connect with them on LinkedIn, and then he will endorse them for a new skill once a week, every week for the next 50 weeks. And it just emails them, and it puts his name in front, reminds them of who he is, right? So I thought that was kind of clever. So I did the same thing to him. So I just feel like I started endorsing him for skills, but he got a kick out of that. But yeah, just stuff like that. But when you get into the realm of consulting and like professional services, which is kind of the realm that I operate in, I think it's even more difficult. So it's really, for me, it's about like connecting with them on social media, finding that common interest, whatever it is, whether it's a business common interest that's outside of what we're talking about them doing with me, or if it's a personal common interest like books. Like that's one of the things that I like to talk about, because it's a point of common interest for people. So I'll throw someone a book recommendation, or I'll put a post out on books, and then that will kind of bait the people that I'm in lead follow-up with to interact. And all I'm looking for is just an interaction with them that reminds them that I'm there. They know what I do. They don't need to be reminded of what I do. We've talked about that before.
What do you do?
I help produce podcasts. Dickhole.
Dickhole. That's a new one. I like that one.
Yeah, I like it. Or I'll just use the Adam Carolla patented douche nozzle.
Douche nozzle.
Douche nozzle. Yeah.
All
right. So
I like it.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it really comes down to the hard mental thought of how can I bring value to this person. And then you just kind of like, once you figure a few things out, write them down so you don't forget them. That way you can use them for other people.
So talk about bringing value. I was talking to one of my clients who's in the insurance industry, and something for all y'all's out there, for your buyers and for your sellers, especially for your buyers, there's a really cool app. It's called Cover, but you can go to their website called usecover.com. And the cool thing about this is that you can actually go and take your smartphone and snap photos of things that you want insurance claims on. So a diamond ring, a car, artwork, whatever, right? And your pets, your boat, whatever you want to get insurance on, they can give you quotes back on those items off of photos. And so it means maybe not 100% perfect, but it's definitely a good way to get started. So in case something happens during the move, or something gets lost, or a mover breaks or steals something, at least you have insurance on it through the move. So Cover, and then go to usecover.com, and you can take a look at that. I thought it was pretty cool. Took a look. I was playing around on it, and it was pretty damn interesting. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, hey, why don't you give out? There was another tech recommendation that you had that we were talking about before we went live. Let's do that, and then we'll give some people some shout-outs.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, dyslexic. So I'm gonna butcher this, but here we go. Magesto. It's Magisto. Magesto. I saw my brother Brad play around with it on his trip to New York this last week, and he took video and he took photos and he put them together in a cool kind of collage with some cool music. I really liked it. I thought it was something awesome. It's kind of like Movoto, not Movoto. It's kind of like Animoto. It's another version of that type of an app, but that one you can go play with. It's 100% free. Go check it out and see what you guys think. And I have one other one. If I can find it in time. I don't think I'm going to find it in time, unfortunately. But Matt, why don't you do your shout outs? I will quickly compile my list, because my list is epically large.
Okay. All right. So for me, just a couple things homing in. Make sure to go download that app. That is a way for homeowners to request home valuations from real agents. So this is our chance as an industry to keep seller leads within our industry, rather than letting someone like a Zillow figure out how to generate them and sell them back to us at a much inflated price. Yes. So let's do that. Let's go download that app and pop in your area and see if there are homeowners that have already requested valuations, because homeowners are finding the app faster than agents are. So there may be free seller leads way depending on the area that you're in. So go find that out. If you're on Android or iPhone, does not matter. Go download it. It's homing in. It's in your app, or you can go to the desktop site, which is homingin.co. C-O. Okay.
Co.
Very important. Not com. Co. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about the farming product. So on our website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, we have a full-blown training course where Greg goes through like all the prospecting, how he picks out a farm, how many homes you should be farming, how to prospect them, cold, warm, and hot prospects, how you communicate with each of them, and then there are 2 ridiculously good bonus videos where you go super in-depth on how to really use Zillow, and the 3 types of events that you should be running with detail on what exactly those are, how you guys do it, and all that stuff. That's all on. It's like $99. It's 8 hours of video content. It's super, super in-depth. It's stuff that you can put into practice right now in your business. So that's on the site, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. It's on the right-hand side on the sidebar. Right below that is, Greg, your free scripts. So we have like a whole, like 15 of your favorite scripts, both for prospecting, for follow-up. All that stuff is on there. Each one of them has a link to a video that you shot where you actually demonstrate the script so people can hear the phrasing and the tonality and exactly how it's used. So that's all free. That's a PDF you can download. It's got the links built into it. So again, that's on the site. It's on the right-hand side under free script. So that's the 2 things that I have to mention.
Okay.
And then, of course, Chelsea for giving us a massive shout out on the lead gen scripts page, and to who was that that mentioned the show? It was Mike Feldman. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, you guys are freaking rock stars. I appreciate it. I'm going to give a shout out to someone who was shitting her pants yesterday, and that would be Miss Misty. I had to cajole her into doing Facebook Live. She practiced about 50 times, finally shot the damn thing, and she is now skipping rope in her mind because she's had like 350 views, and now she's going to do more of them. So Misty, knuckles to you. Great work. I'm super proud of you. Neely, I'm very, very proud of you. You took a massive step this week. You quit your job, and you're going feet first into real estate. I see nothing but wonderful things for you. Keep it up. Super, super proud to see you progress in your business career. And then Leo, last night, man, what an epic talk with you. I see incredible things. Matt, get this on precise, dude. He's a high D and a high S. How the fuck is that going to work? I mean, he's like fighting himself the entire time. It's like, charge forward. Wait, we need lists. Charge forward. Wait, we need lists. I'm like, oh, boy.
Wow. Okay. Well, it means he's going to be a damn good operations side guy. It's just as long as he can talk to people.
Oh, he can, dude. He's total talker, man. He is Mr. Personality, and so he's out there just crushing it and doing amazing things. So, Leo, great work, man. Ashley Horcher, yes, Ashley Horcher just called me, guys. She was on our show a long time ago. She was talking about doing Facebook messages out to her peeps and getting her deals. Dude, check it out. She just got a call from an agent in Denver that had heard me mention her on my Facebook Lives. So they reached out to her, and she is super pumped. She's like, it's so exciting to help a new agent. This is so awesome. Thanks for the shout out. So Ashley, thank you for everything that that you're doing and the way you're paving the way out there. But guys, McDaniel Challenge, holy crap balls! I am booked. My next opening is January 24th.
Oh my God,
it's getting ridiculous.
They're gonna have to start like just booking them back to back, and I'm just gonna get you an intravenous drip of like some sort of microbrew and doing like a waiting pool, like one of the what was that Minority Report? The sensitives or whatever that would just lay around and goo and just prognosticate the whole time. That's what I'm gonna do to you.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Drunken swimming and while talking.
That's right.
So David, Lori, Elizabeth, and Sylvia are my last couple that is booked. Super excited to have you guys on. And then Matt, this week has just been awesome. I got to talk. Well, Nick bailed on me for a karate tournament, so I got to get with him. Luz, and then we talked to Aaron on Wednesday, and then I had Leo last night. Man, you guys are amazing people. Please keep coming, guys. McDaniel's Challenge is an hour to 2 hours of free coaching, 100% free, no strings attached. Come on, guys. Book up with me as soon as you freaking can, man. This stuff is a lot of fun. I look forward to it every single day to have an opportunity to have a conversation. So I would love to have a conversation with you guys. The way you do it is you call me, 925-915-1978 is my cell, or Facebook message me. That's the best way to get a hold of me because I can respond video, audio, or in a written text. So with that all buttoned up with a nice little pretty bow on it, let's get back to some content, Matt.
All right. So let's dive into this, the rest of the 75 real estate marketing ideas for agents. This is from Playster. And there was some interesting things that we didn't get a chance to get to on the last show. And they are things like Slideshare and infographics.
I love
infographics. Yeah, so I mean, there are some different apps you can use to create this stuff, but if I were you, I would go to Fiverr and just give them the content and have somebody put together a cheap infographic for you. There are people that specialize on that, on Fiverr especially. That would be a really great way, and you can actually turn those into, depending on how they're constructed, if they are not as text heavy, if they're more graphic heavy, they may be you may be able to fit them under the 20% rule for Facebook ads and boost them.
I thought Facebook took that away very quietly. I thought they removed that.
They may have been so quiet I didn't hear about it. I don't know.
Well, that's not hard.
Yeah. Well, that's funny.
Or if you guys don't want to create anything, go find them on Pinterest, but be very specific on what you search for. So maybe you want to do real estate marketing trends 2016. Make sure you read the graphics because some of them might kick you back to different years. But take those, download, upload those into your Facebook, page. Maybe push those back out. Maybe just repin them onto one of your boards if people are following you heavily on those. Or there's some just good life hack stuff out there. I mean, I have a bunch of boards that I have stuff like I pull and I find just for the Facebook Lives, because there's I found one the other day that I found was very, very interesting. It was like tips to how to be a true man, and I was reading through them. I'm like, some pretty good tips. I should probably start using these.
And you promptly forgot about them. Yeah, I got it. What
was number 2? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But see, and that's one of the other things. Oh, also Slideshare, guys. I will voluntarily say this. I steal their shit all the time, and I use it in my training courses because they're really good, presentations put together that they'll look clean, and I'll take those and I use them in my different trainings. Of course, I give all references back to Slideshare and the author of the different boards, but it's a really easy way to get some good information, and you can create one yourself if you're so inclined. So, or what is that app, Matt? Hold on, I was just playing with this thing. But they just came out with it for the iPhone. It is really cool if I can find it. Where are you, gosh damn it? Canva. You guys know about Canva? Here it is. So basically you can use Canva now on your iPhone, and you can create really cool graphics for both Facebook, Twitter, different presentations, home design, Instagram, your Facebook covers, Pinterest. You can do posters, blog graphics, you can do cards, YouTube art, flyers, invitations, all kinds of really cool stuff. You can create it right here on your iPhone with different photos and different graphics. So Canva is a really cool app if you guys want to start doing something neat and stand out. Also, this Giphy thing, shoot, I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's the blue one. It says Giphy right there. Mm-hmm. That thing has the funniest GIFs or gaffs or whatever the hell those things are called. That they make me laugh my ass off. Some of the shit that they come up with, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Click, send it to somebody. They laugh back at it. It's a fun way to stand out too. It's also humanizing yourself quite a bit, guys. It's a fun way to interact with your clientele. Let's say you're running late for something on an appointment, so just do something with that, going running late or late, and then just send them a funny GIF or a gaff. Or how the fuck do you say that?
GIF. For God's sake. Apparently, the guy who invented them actually calls them GIFs, I think, but GIFs. GIF has already caught on, so yeah.
Whatever. GIF, a GIF, a Giphy, Jiffy. Those are really fun. Also, you're a Jiffy.
Send somebody a tub of peanut butter. Here, I sent you a Jiffy.
Also, guys, HomeSnap. I know I keep talking about it, but the app, guys, HomeSnap right there is awesome. You can
how are you using that on a daily basis, Greg?
I am taking photos of different properties, like maybe something that a buyer would like, and I put my buyers into it, and then I can send them the photo with all the pertinent information about the property, and then they can send me stuff back. So it's a communication portal. Also, if I'm in front of a house, I can take a snapshot of it, and it will bring up all the information about the property, like owners and blah 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 blah, anything else. It's really I was genuinely impressed about how much fun and how resourceful this thing actually can be.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, and in that vein, don't forget about HomeBuzz, which is founded by Christian Peter, who's a co-founder of Homing In, which we've talked about. We tend to talk about Homing In more, but don't forget about HomeBuzz, where you can tour homes and then rate them and leave your reviews and kind of build up the credibility of the fact that you've gone through all these homes in a specific area that you want to specialize in. It's great for proving yourself if you're looking to farm a specific area and you want some credibility with your sellers, and be able to whip that app out and say, look, I've gone through every house in this farm area. I've reviewed every single one of them. I know the market here, and they can really see it in visual form that you actually do know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah. Also, this one as well.
Relula. Yeah.
Relola. That's another one for reviewing homes, guys. Another free source for you to look like you're an industry expert if you just got into the business or whatever else. Relola. I met the founder. Actually, they're here in Emeryville, right around. Go that direction. By about 20 minutes, and you'll be landing right in their front yard. Very, very cool. I just downloaded it. I'm gonna start playing with it next week. I'm gonna go on tour. Unfortunately, I couldn't go on tour this week because I was stuck here making phone calls, getting leads, doing real estate shit. You know,
that sounds horrible. All right, so let's talk about some of the other more obscure things on this list that I like. So number one is contribute to Medium. That is something that I do with both for myself and for my content clients, you know, podcasting and so forth. We basically spin out the blog posts that are clips from the podcast and post them to Facebook, natively uploaded, and then post them to LinkedIn and post them to Medium, which is a really phenomenal, very clean blogging site. It's kind of similar, and I don't want to say it's similar to Tumblr because Tumblr tried to be everything. You could post all kinds of stuff, but at least in the beginning, Tumblr was a blogging platform and a way to discover other people that were blogging about similar topics. That's what Medium is, but it's very clean, it's restricted, it's super easy to read, and there's some great authors on there, people that are contributing content there, but it's a great, it's another place to post your content at the very least, but I would still post it natively to places like Facebook and LinkedIn, regardless of what you're doing. And then one of the other ones I wanted to point out was joining LinkedIn groups, because you can join a ton of them.
50.
Yeah, it's 50. And then you can interact and kind of build up some credibility and authority within that group of people. So whatever it is, whether it's a professionals organization, like a young professionals, if it's neighborhood, you can start a neighborhood group on LinkedIn. You can use it pretty much however you want. Who was it that? And the same thing with Facebook groups too. Like Josh Bryan said, he's like a member of over 50 groups on Facebook. Just posts regularly, brings value, brings content, and then sends them. Like he'll post something once a day that is real estate oriented, and set like a free search or a contest or whatever, and that sends them to his lead capture site and generates leads. You can do similar stuff on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's all through Joshua Smith's program, The Perfect Storm, which Josh Bryan said he's just getting a ton of activity off of. So, dude, way to rock out, Josh. That is some awesome shit, dude. There's also another site, maybe you guys may or may not have heard of it. It's called Movoto, Movoto. Movoto. It's kind of like Zillow or Truly or anything else. You can go there and do home searches. Last time I checked, and I'm pretty sure it's still fully operational, they will give leads to you, but you just pay them a referral fee. And it's like, if you don't get back to them fast enough, then they're not going to give you another lead. But if you interact and keep them up to date, then they'll keep feeding you leads for free as long as you give them a referral fee. So if you guys are looking for an easy way to get some additional clients, go check out Movoto, Movoto. Movoto is a really cool site. I talked about utility score last show. Here it is, utility score. Go to myutilityscore.com and you can figure out what your utility bills may be for the home and what you could reduce on an annualized basis. Holy crap, my tongue's not moving today. And you can see, put new windows, put solar panels on, put something else on, you can go there. We have no affiliation with any of these organizations, guys. These are just cool things that we like and that we're bringing out to you guys.
Cool. All right, so there was a message, or a post, I should say, on Jamie Cox's group, Realtor Lead Gen Tips, that caught my eye. It's not a question, but it directly mentions you, Greg. So Dan Herbert says, thanks for the ad. Your podcast with Greg McDaniel inspired me. This is talking to Jamie Cox. So I set up the dialer, ready to call, gave it a test run in a short time yesterday just to get over the anxiety of calling. In 20 minutes, I got somebody to respond, wow, I'm impressed that you're making these calls. We're thinking of moving, but not until the school year ends, along with permission to stay in touch, and send a thank you card out. Anxiety gone. So
awesome,
Dan. That's awesome. That's a great success story.
That is a huge success story, guys. I'm telling you, look, people always reach out to me and they, Greg, you make it look so easy. Greg, this, blah blah blah. I'm like, it is easy. It's just you. That's the hard part. I mean, you're that stick in the mud. you're that pain in the ass. You're the reason why you're not getting what you want, because you're not willing to do something different. You're content to stay wallowing in the depths of depression and despair going, I can't get any business, but you're not willing to put anything different out there. How the hell do you think I did anything different? I had no other option. I had to maximize my time. I had to get a bigger return on my time investment. So I went, okay, what's the biggest amount of pain I can go through? Oh, I can do a triple line dialer. I actually looked to see if there was even a bigger dialer. I couldn't find one at the time. But a triple line dialer, it makes you 3 times more effective of the same use of time. If Midori can do it, if Dan can do it, I mean, that means even Matt could do it.
Wow, boy, that's. Thanks.
I saw you looking away. I'm just like, I'm just gonna get him back.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to come up with keeping an eye out for more questions that we can cover on the show, and then I get ambushed.
Just hey Matt, look over here. Smack you in the face. I'm going to talk about it again, guys. Guys, go follow me on Facebook. Go to Greg McDaniel and then subscribe and follow me. I'm at 5,000 friends, so don't friend me. Please don't friend me. Just follow me. And then you'll be able to see me do these live calls, these live lead gens. I'm going to do another one today. So there's some creepy dude, was walking behind me in the window. I saw that through this. I'm like,
okay, sure.
No, I'm not seeing things either. But I mean, go follow me, go follow Matt, guys. You're going to get content that you can't get here. And it's just another opportunity for you guys to kind of see what we do on a daily basis. Also, Matt and I and Aaron are working on something very cool. Oh my God, it's getting cooler and cooler as we get closer and closer to see this thing emerge out of what we're hoping for it to be. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I gotta tell you, I'm like giddy. I'm so excited to get this thing out on the open market to see what people's reaction is going to be, the value, what you're going to pay versus what you're going to get. It's in complete disproportion. I mean, can we go like this? Like,
you can't see either of your hands, but yes, they're so far apart. Yeah.
Would you agree?
For anybody listening, his hands were really far apart. They were like 4 feet apart. So we have a lot of value.
Story.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. All right, so let's cover one last question before we wrap things up. So again, this is from Jamie Cox's group, Realtor Lead Gen Tips. So Aaron Gray says, when you successful door knockers are out there prospecting, how many houses do you hit in a set time period, and do you dress up or casual? We've talked about the set time period. That can vary a lot, anywhere from 25 to 50 for Brian Casella, because he's a smaller neighborhood, smaller homes and stuff like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But let's talk about the dressing up, Greg. What do you recommend?
A Speedo.
Just that. You mean like under a parka, under a trench coat? What are we talking about?
No, just cruise around in your Speedo and flip flops and walk up. Hey, what's up, man? You guys thinking about buying or selling? Yeah, huh? No, don't do that. You're gonna get arrested very quickly. I'm so fast. I'm Matt. I go from door to door so fast. I have to wear a Speedo. I gotta be streamlined.
That's right. See, I even have my eyebrows shaved for maximum efficiency.
So what you would want to wear, guys? On all honesty, don't wear a Speedo. That's just weird.
I would not recommend that.
No. So mirror and match the people that you are going to go door knock to and be around. So here in my area here, slacks or nice jeans with a shirt tucked in or untucked, depending on what you're wearing. Maybe some nice tennis shoes or dress shoes. Totally acceptable here in our marketplace. I went into Florida. I think I've told this story a couple times years ago, to teach a bunch of people how to go door knocking. And I rolled in, white shirt, tie, slacks, dress shoes, business attire, right? And the people sat down where they were learning about the product I was selling or they had already bought, and then we're going to go door knocking. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going door knocking. They're like, in that? I'm like, yeah. I learned very quickly that I was ridiculed when the lady who I first talked to at the first door, she was very nice. I told her what we were doing. I asked her if she was selling. She said, yes, she was thinking about selling. I brought the agent up, to talk about, the nitty gritty of what the market's doing in the area. And then she goes, well, I'm really glad I opened that door, because when I first saw you, I was wondering what church you belong to. I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm a moron.
Oh, if you only knew.
So I immediately, after that day, I took the tie off, rolled up the sleeves, kind of changed that persona slightly. That night, I went down and got a couple Tommy Bahama shirts, some nice khaki shorts, and some comfy shoes, and rolled out. Never had the problem again. So mirror and match the people you're going to be around. That's as hard as it is. Just go out and say, all these people are wearing this type of clothing. That's the shit you should wear. Maybe step it up slightly so you can.
So definitely want to make sure that you scout out the neighborhood beforehand by renting a primered van and driving very slowly through the neighborhood and just looking at what everyone's wearing.
With binoculars. Just
That's right.
Okay, so what are they doing over there? What TV show are they watching? Yep, exactly. Yep. Those are jeans, Matt. We can wear jeans now.
Oh man. Okay.
We're weird.
All right, guys, we got to wrap this one up before it gets weird, as if it already hasn't. But thank you guys for all the shout outs and stuff on the various Facebook groups. Really appreciate it. Keep an eye out on the Lead Gen Scription Objections Facebook group specifically. That is where Greg is broadcasting his live prospecting sessions 2 or 3 days a week, at least, if not 5, depending on his schedule. It's usually in the afternoons. Definitely on the days when we do the podcast, it is after the podcast. So like Mondays, Wednesdays at 4:30-ish. Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. Yeah, and then make sure to follow Greg on Facebook. You can still friend request me if you like. That is the best way to get a message through to us during the show. So that is facebook.com/pursuingresults. And I am also pursuing results on other platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. And then, Greg, what's your Snapchat is
REU444. Correct,
REU. REU444. Okay. So remember to do that. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on Stitcher if you're an Android user. Make sure if you want the future videos, subscribe on YouTube. That's the best way to see us and get the full Real Estate Uncensored experience. And you wait, guys, until we come out. Oh my God, this new platform that we're going to be able to launch the show on September. And yeah, it's going to be, we're talking about something like this is something different from what Greg was talking about earlier, but let's just say there's a lot of really good things happening and big things coming in the whole Real Estate Uncensored world that's going to blow you guys away.
It is absolutely awesome. Hold on, I just got a shout out. To be fair, I did a Google quote and printed nothing. I can clean. That's awesome. Yeah, no, it is super awesome, and we're not blowing smoke, guys. We're not lying to you. This thing is super neat. What are you reading?
I'm reading the same thing you're reading. Chelsea Robinson claims that she Googled your quote before she printed it out and nothing came up, so Greg can claim it as much as he wants. I don't know. You're not here to sell. You're here to serve. I feel like, as what is it? Tim Ferriss was talking about the fact that almost like 80% of quotes are incorrectly attributed to somebody else that actually came from Jim Rohn. It would not surprise me if this is one of them. So anyway. Bullshit. But with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching and bearing with us. We're sorry we were not able to bring our guest, Tad Wicker. We're looking at getting him lined up for the near future. On Monday, we have a really interesting episode. So I met a guy named Hal Coopersmith. He's an attorney, a real estate attorney in New York City. I met him at a podcasting event this summer. He's going to come on the show. He actually runs a podcast where he interviews startup founders in New York City. Those guys are not only his potential friends and business connections, but potential clients. So he helps on the back end of the real estate deal to negotiate leases and do some of the paperwork and stuff like that. But he's acting very much like a real estate rental agent, and he's using a podcast to grow his network, grow his referral network, and bring in new potential clients. It's a great potential model for you to follow, to use a podcast to grow your referral business. And then we're going to talk about just some of the specifics of New York real estate, like the difference between some of their condos and different things. It's going to be really interesting conversation with him. That's coming up on Monday. And then we've got Sue Henson on the show next Friday. So top producer interview with her on Friday to learn what's growing in her business, what's working for lead generation and marketing and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a good week next week. We'll be back here on Wednesday. And speaking of this new platform, we'll do our regular, we've actually got three episodes coming up on Wednesday of next week, and we'll explain more of why. But for our episode on next Wednesday at 4:30 Pacific, we're doing a special episode. It's going to be an interactive episode on this new platform. More details to come, but our special guest is Kevin Dutoit. He's a luxury agent from up in Orange County, LA area. He's been on the Discovery Channel, so he is a celebrity realtor. He only works with the best of the best, the most premier properties up there. He's worked with celebrity clients, movie producers, athletes, the whole 9 yards. So we have an incredible guest for Wednesday of next week. So it's going to be a big week.
Yeah, it's always a big week with us, Matt. You know that, but it's even going to be more cool. All right, guys. McDaniel Challenge before we rock out of this thing. Hour to 2 hours free coaching with me, 9/25, 9/15, 1978. I'm booked up until January 24th of 2017. So get your bitch ass off the motherfucking fence and just get over and hang out with me before you go to February, because nobody wants to be talk about this shit on fucking Valentine's Day. Come on now. Do it before Valentine's Day. Your sweetheart, you owe it to them. You owe it to them.
That's right.
All right. You ready?
I don't even know what to say. Yep, let's wrap this one up, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
Yep. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye.